everyone, Wayne here, and welcome to Wandering Hexes. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Pendragon, Glory of the Round Table. First off, you guys know I love my Arthurian games and Arthurian themes, so when this one was getting crowdfunded, a year ago or so, I knew I had to get it. Picked up this and the playmat, which you guys will see on the table shortly. This is a card-based game. It is 2 to 4 players competitive, 2 to 4 players cooperative, or it has a solo mode. So, of course, I'll be showing off that solitaire mode for you guys. It's a quick playing card game. Basically, you're going to have flip over card representing a quest, which has a certain difficulty and has a certain ability score attached to it, a certain type. And you're going to be playing cards from a hand and cards and bonuses from any equipment you have, along with your knight and his squire you have, which the squire can change throughout the game. And you're going to be trying to meet or exceed the score on that quest to beat it, and then you sort of get the glory points from that quest. In the solo mode, you're trying to get at least 8 glory points, and then there's more during the other modes. With more players, you have to get more glory points to determine who wins, whether it's cooperative or whether it's competitive. So I think that's enough of a little bit of a quick overview. Let's get onto the table. I'll explain everything, show you guys the components, and then we'll dive into some gameplay. And of course, I'll give you my final thoughts on the game at the end. So let's get on the table. All right, we're down at the table. First off, let me get this box out of the way. Look at this art on this playmat. I absolutely love it. Huge win for me. I always usually wait for my thoughts at the end, but I had to say, when we're playing on it, it's mostly be covered by the cards and components. Absolutely love it. Now, when I first got it, I thought to myself, wait a second, where's the, there's no, boxes, nothing on here for graphics to show me where to put cards for playing, but it doesn't need it. It just looks great. And it's actually a really thick mat too. Stitch edge, of course, but it's really thick. I've definitely had, I got the DC Legendary game just recently. The mat is like paper thin. It's slight exaggeration, it's not that bad. This thing is thick. So really nice mat that if you can pick it up, yeah, you're going to want to pick that up. But anyway, okay, so Glory of the Round Table, the card game here. Self-contained card game of questing, honor, combat legends, and all manner of knightly virtues, featuring key elements from the chivalrous world of Greg Stafford's Pendragon tabletop role-playing game, incorporated into a fun and adventurous multiplayer experience, or solo. All right, so what are the components in the game here? So it's pretty simple. Like I said, the game is a fairly simple card game. It's the type of game that really you probably play multiple times in a row, right? You don't just set up and play and you're done. Oh, game's over, we're done. You're going to play it multiple times. In fact, I played, I think, 5 or 6 times in a row when I first actually got it all set up. So, all right, so several decks of cards, and we'll look through each of these here. You have the marshalling deck of cards, which is going to be made up of action cards. Well, it's called the marshalling deck, and they're marshalling cards, but basically they're kind of like action cards. There are events, there's possessions, so like your equipment, and then there are passions. And I'll explain all that as we go. And like I said, you guys will see some gameplay. This is a deck of squire cards. This is a deck of the different knights. And this is a deck of the different quests. The game will also come with several of these player aids, cheat sheet cards, right? With tells you different phases of the game. Spring phase, marshalling phase, quest phase, and then winter phase. You have your rule book here, and then on the back, which is a huge loss, unfortunately. As good as the mat is, the glory tracker, which you keep track of when you're playing, sorry, not competitively, but you're playing together, you're playing cooperatively, and then you're playing solo. So you can tell you how many quests per round, and then how many you have to get up to win the game. So 2-player, but also it's 1 player. You have to get 8 quests, 8 glory, 8 glory to win. Well, this is on the back of the rulebook, so you're trying to read the rulebook to learn the game and play the game and reference things, and then meanwhile you're supposed to keep track of it on the back. I just line them up here. Again, you guys will see it as I play, but a little bit of an L there. That should be a separate player aid. In fact, there's no player aids that come with the game other than this card here. Thankfully, it has this, but a little bit more, especially that glory tracker would have been nice. And then finally, you have some cardboard chits along with a first player token here, a little sword, little stubby Excalibur here. And then you have your gold. Of course, you're going to have gold. And you have glory points, keeping track of those. Let's go ahead, clear things off, and I'll show off the different types of cards before we dive into the gameplay. All right, so I have all the different cards set out here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. So I mentioned you have your marshalling deck. These are the equivalent of action cards. You're going to be drawing some each turn. You're going to have some in your hand. You're going to be playing some towards your cause. I'll explain as we go, but the cause is basically a pile of cards that you will use when you're trying to complete a quest. Okay, for the marshalling cards, you have possessions, events, and passions. Possessions you can purchase with gold, and then they go into your possessions. You can have up to 3. The event cards, you can just play them, and it'll give you a certain action or something will happen. For example, Beseech the Beyond, action. Choose honest or deceitful. If you pick honest, you discard a card to gain 3 gold, so if you need some money. You do get 3 gold every turn. Deceitful, pay 1 gold to draw 3 cards. Ooh, so maybe you pay a gold. Maybe you don't want to be deceitful, but you're like, you know what, I'll pay a gold to draw 3 cards. And that may be worth it, because trust me, having cards in your hand really, really helps with this game. And finally, we have passion. These cards are cards that you often will either put in your cause, or in a multiplayer game, you'd place in someone else's cause. Now, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but when you have causes, again, that's a little stack of cards that you'll put next to the quest, or next to you, like your pile, next to the quest, saying, hey, I'm trying to complete this quest, which I'll explain in a second here as we get to the quest cards. In a multiplayer game, you put them face down. It's a little different. In the solo game, put them face up. You know what you have. The AI, as you're playing, can't cheat off it. All right, and then with these marshalling cards, you may notice the pips in the corner. Those are going to be, where do we have some? So we have, say, strength over here. We have constitution right here. We have appeal right here. I'll explain those here as we get into the quest, but just know when you have your marshalling cards, you can play them as, possessions, events, or passions, or you can use them for the pips. Use them to help you when you're questing by putting them in your cause. Okay, so speaking of questing, here I have 3 quest cards out. Bring Justice to Irina, Vivian's Favor, and Mordred's Deeds. Again, we're looking at strength, we're looking at appeal, and we're looking at constitution. Now, those stats are important because, I'm going to jump ahead over to our knight and the squire. You'll have 1 knight, and there's just a couple I have out here, Dame Linnell and Sir Avaloc. Those knights are going to have stats, right, for their strength, constitution, and appeal. Also, they'll have a special ability, and then I'll tell you how much gold you get each turn from them. And then maybe have some flavor text here. But basically, those stats, that's your base stat for those different abilities here. And you're going to want to start with that, and you add up from any squires you have. For example, Valorious Squire here, he gives +1 strength. So say Dame Linnell would have a total of 3 from these. Or Sir Avaloc, he would also have 3, I guess. Spiritual Squire adds +1 constitution. And again, also potentially has a special ability. You will have 1 king for the game, knight, 1 knight for the game. However, you get to start with 1 squire, and if you want, when the squire is forfeit, and usually there's ways to forfeit them, return a passion card from the discard pile to your hand. When the squire is forfeit, return an event card from the discard pile to your hand, etc. They all have a little special ability, but once they're forfeit, you get to draw a new one. So you can always change up kind of the little help you get. But the point is you have your stat. You have your stat from any possessions, right? So say the broadsword, right, adds +1 strength. That huge tracts of land, which is hilarious, adds +1 gold when you have it. You add those to your base, and then you have your cards you're playing, right, with those pips in the corner. You add all that up, and you compare it to the quest card. All right, so the 3 quest cards, again, I mentioned strength, constitution, or appeal, and constitution here. You're looking at that first stat, that's the base stat, and then you look at what this little castle, little tower is. That's the difficulty. You need to get equal or exceed that number. The quest will also get a couple cause cards to help them out, so don't go to the bare minimum. You usually want to try to go over it if you can. If you equal or succeed, you pass, you complete the quest successfully, and you get that many glory points. And remember, in a solo game, which is what I'm really talking about here, you just need to get 8 glory points. Now, if you're at 0, or if you ever have anything goes negative, so if you're at 1 and you lose the quest, you lose that many. So if you're at 1 and you lose 2, it goes to -1, you lose the game. All right, I kind of already mentioned with the knights, you get 1 to start with. The game has you can do it randomly. You can just pick one. I mean, if you first time playing, I'd say do a random knight and a random squire. But if you played for a little while, maybe pick one out. Or the opposite. Maybe if you're starting, you're like, I don't know if I want to do it random. Okay, pick somebody. There's a whole bunch of them, whole stack of cards here for the knights, and a whole stack for squires. Build the little combo that you want to go questing in the lands of Pendragon, lands of Camelot here. So, let's see. I think that's it for the cards that I mentioned. I'm trying to think of anything. I don't think there is. Of course, there's special effects or special things that happen. If you're playing Adoration, for example, say it's your turn and you're or you're playing solo, right? Again, I'm describing the game as solo. If you play passion or adoration in your cause, you may use appeal as your quest stat. So say your appeal, because of the cards you have in your hand or because of your knight or whatever, is higher. You may say, I'm trying to beat this Bring Justice to Irina, but I don't have enough strength. I don't have 6+ strength. But actually, the cards lined up, I have just enough to say huge tracts of land. Instead of having it as a possession, right, and paying that gold, I use it for my cause. That's 2, 3, 4. And say I had a squire that had another one, that's 5. And say I had another couple cards. Whatever the case is, I equal or exceed, I get to pass and complete that quest. So it's all those little tricks you can do to try to defeat each quest and get enough glory to join King Arthur around the round table. Okay, I think that's it for the overview setup. Yeah, I mean, the game is basically going to be a spring phase, which you're gathering your hands and getting ready, going to the martial phase, which are playing your cards out, quest phase, which is really where you're resolving everything, and then that winter phase, which is where you're just sort of gathering things up and resolving everything that's left over, and then continuing on unless it's a game over for you or if you win. So let's go ahead and dive into some gameplay, and then after a gameplay, whether it's a full game or part of a game, doesn't matter. Because at the end, I'll give you guys my thoughts on this one. All right, so I have chosen as my knight Sir Clarion the Studious. By the way, if you hear any pounding or banging from upstairs and I'm hear it on camera, that is my son, Mern. He is awake from his nap and he is playing and running around, and I don't have a problem with that. So if it's too much for you, you'll have to turn off the video. Otherwise, I hope you stay tuned. All right, so Sir Clarion the Studious, he has a 3 strength, 2 constitution, and 2 appeal. His trigger is if you fail a quest, look at the top card of the quest deck. You may put it on the bottom of the deck, which I really like. Right, helps you set up for success. 'Tis but a minor setback. And he gets 3 gold per turn. I think they all do, but it is listed there. So for Squire, I chose, and again, I chose both of these. I didn't do it random. Maybe another thing you can do is maybe draw like top 2 or top 3 and pick from there. Whatever. Vengeful Squire. Trigger. And he gets +1 combat, by the way. So I did that on purpose, and now I have a 4 strength. So I know that when it comes to strength quests, I have a good shot at them. Not so much the other ones, but hey, I can try to aim and try to get those strength quests if possible. Trigger. When this squire is forfeit, choose a knight and take 3 gold from them. Now, obviously, there's no other knights. It's just me, and you'll see that on some of these cards where it references something like that. In my mind, I just then take it from the bank, right? I would just take 3 gold. There's no other knight. Consider it, a rival knight, whatever. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and begin. Again, the game is going to be played over rounds, which each round is effectively a year, right? That's why it's spring phase, marshalling phase, quest phase, and winter phase. As we go on these epic quests. It takes time to do a quest back in medieval times here, and early medieval Knights of the Round Table. So, all right, spring phase, the lead reveals the quest. Again, some of these terms on here, these are going to be for the multiplayer game. I'm the only knight, so I'm the lead also. So anything that says the lead will be me. So flip over the top part, and these are all shuffled. Sent by the lady. So this is a strength quest. Ooh, I did not do that on purpose. Trigger. Whenever a knight plays an event card, they gain 1 gold. That's a nice one, actually. A blessing few have ever received. Cherish it. It is 5 difficulty. And so when I mentioned kind of the stats is the game calls it the, what is that? The lead stat? Or I forget exactly what it's called. I suppose it'll be right on here. Quest stat. Quest stat. Highest quest stat. Yeah, when you're playing a multiplayer, you're comparing your quest stat against each other. That's why you do your causes. You do them face down. For me, it's that, the difficulty here. This green tower is only used in the cooperative or solo game. All right, so I know that that's what I have to do. Knights gain income equal to their gold bonus. My total right now is 3. Remember, if I have possessions, it could be more. But right now, all I get is 3. And we'll just move them over just a little bit here so I get my 3 gold. All right, knights draw up to their 3-card hand. So I get 3 cards from the marshalling deck, and it's just me solo. So what I'd like to do is just lay them out so everyone, and by everyone I mean me, can see them. But you guys can see them too. A possession, an event, ooh, and another event. Okay, so what do we got here? So the possession is Sword in the Stone. It'll cost 2 gold if I want to move from my hand to the possessions, and that's during the marshalling phase, but I'm just describing it right now. It's worth 2 strength pips, which I will probably need, it looks like. Trigger, when you complete a quest, give this to another player, gain 1 glory. You're going to see a lot of cards that reference another, choose a knight, another player, etc. In my mind, I'm just sort of going to use them as against, the faceless knight that I'm competing with here, or money that comes from the bank, whatever the case is. Like I have an opponent. It's this, the system, the cards, and that's what I'm taking from. So I would gain another glory. And then if I have it in my possession, so if I pay the 2 gold and I move the sword and the stone in my possession, it actually will give me +1 appeal. So then I'll have a base appeal of 2 +1 plus any cards. All right, event, breath before battle, worth 2 constitution pips, or action, choose energetic or lazy. Energetic, if the quest stat is strength, choose a knight to get +2 bonus to strength this turn. Ooh, that's not bad, actually. What would that be? 3, 4, 5, 6 against 5. Ooh, maybe that might be worth that. Okay, and then Radiance of Guinevere, 3 appeal. Jeez, that's good. That's powerful too. In turn order, each other knight may pledge a card to your cause. If they do, they gain 3 gold. Again, one that references other players. That will not be happening with this solo game. All right, proceed to the marshalling phase. So now this is where we are playing. The lead takes the marshalling phase. You may do the following any number of times. Pay for a possession. So again, as many as you want, as long as you have the resources for it. Play an event. If you have it and you can play it, take an action on a card. These can only be done once per round. Now that means for that action, right? So the action that's listed here, I can't just keep playing it like it's played. Take an action on a card. Okay, pass. This ends your phase and passes it to the next knight. So once I'm done and it moves on, obviously not another knight. So then we would go from the marshalling phase over to the quest phase. Just a reminder at the bottom here, marshalling phase, all players must discard down to 5 cards in their hand, then proceed to the quest phase. So if I have not played cards, and I have, so say I have these 3 and I leave them all here and I get 3 more next turn, and so now I have 6. Okay, well then if I gotta discard down. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, here's what I think we're going to do. I think we're going to risk it, because what I want to do is I want that sword in the stone, because I want to beef up my base stats for the future. So I'm going to spend 2 gold, and I'm going to take sword in the stone into my possessions. I can have up to 3. So that will give me a +1 appeal from my actual appeal ability. So that's not going to help me with this quest, but it'll help me in the future, because there's going to be at least one quest with an appeal, probably. But then what I'm going to do then is for breath, I'm going to play breath before battle, choose energetic or lazy. I'm going to use energetic. If the quest stat is strength, choose a knight to get +2 bonus to strength this turn. So I'm going to get my strength up this turn. Now, there's not really a way to, keep track of that per se. So what I would like to do is I kind of just put it up here in my cause, and remembering that, hey, I'm using it. Well, I'll kind of put it like that, as remembering that, hey, I'm using this for my, in fact, let's do it. Well, let's do it like that. Remembering that I'm using it for the event itself. So +2 strength. So my strength technically is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm just going to hang on to the Radiance of Guinevere for the future. So I'm going to just go ahead and hang on to that card. All right, and that is it for the marshalling phase, right? I'm taking a card in possession, sword in the stone. I have a card, played for an event, and I'm hanging on to Radiance of Guinevere. Discard down to 5 cards. I obviously only have 1 in my hand, so I'm good. Now we go to the quest phase. Lead pledges any number of cards into their cause. And again, competitive, right? You're doing it face down. I'll do it face up. I'm not going to be playing any cards into my cause, because I'm looking at it like I think I have good enough. But again, that would be where, say, this had strength on it and I needed it, I would go ahead and just place it either, cooperative or, competitive, multiplayer game face down, so no one else knows what I'm up to, or I would just do it like this and do it face up. I think cooperative, you still would do it face up, because I think you're working together, right? All right. Pledge any number of cards or cause. In turn order, all players pledge any number of cards in their cause. Reveal all cards and causes. Resolve passions. And we're going to get to all that. I'll definitely play maybe a full game. We'll see. Compare quest stats. Highest quest stat completes quest and earns prizes. Discard the quest. Knights who failed the quest may forfeit their squire. Forfeit squires are replaced. Proceed to the winner phase. All right. Now, the 2 things to remember for cooperative or solo is the glory tracker, depending on your glory, which again, we're at 0 right now. It's only 1 quest per round. Once we get to 5 glory, and then up to 8, once we get to 8, we win. It's 2 quests. So we have to reveal 2 quests, and we have to try to resolve both of them. It gets tough, actually. It gets tough pretty quick. So why you almost want to build up your possessions and everything first. Secondly, in solo and cooperative, since you're competing against the game, you draw a number of marshalling cards equal to the quest glory, and then you put them to the cause. So we'll put that right here to show that's the cause for it. And that happens in addition to, right, during the general sort of quest phase here. Or the beginning of it, I guess I should say, during the marshalling phase, perhaps. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Okay, so one card out. Now we go ahead and we're going to be resolving it. So very simple. Basically, we're looking at it right now, and then we're going to flip this one over. So it is strength. We have to get at least 5 or higher strength. We have 3, 4, and then remember our action here, our event, adds 2 more, so we're at 6. So equal or higher, so we got 6, we win. We completed the quest. Oh, not so fast, my friends. Let's flip this card over and see what we get. Oh my gosh, it is a strength. Thankfully, it's only 1. So 5 plus 1 becomes 6. We got 6. We at least equaled it. We succeeded, and we succeed and beat the quest. Yay! And we earn all prizes, which is 1 glory. So what I like to do to keep track of it, since the tracker's in the back of the rulebook and I use the rulebook to reference it, is I just put them in a line up here, and I just get till I get 8, and then I know I won. All right. Discard the quest. So we go ahead and discard that. Knights who failed the quest may forfeit their squire. Again, we're not doing that. It's only us. So if we did fail, we could get rid of our squire if we really wanted to. And then we proceed to the winter phase. Now, technically, this would be discarded as well. The cause cards don't get discarded. Remember, that wasn't a cause card. We used it for the action. This cause cards technically don't get discarded. And did I forget my event? I did, because I played 1 event, so I should get a gold from that sent by the lady quest card while it was out. My bad. I will take that. And what was this? What was the divine right? And this is a quest card. So while it's in the, it's a pledge card. It's a cause card. Excuse me. You ignore any of those like actions in there, right? It's only when it's a cause in the cause. You're only looking at the chit in the top right. Check glory to see if anyone wins. Again, if it's 1 player, we have 8. We only have 1, so nobody wins. I don't win, I should say. Trigger winter phase effects. So if there was a card that I had out that says winter phase, that would come into play. There's none. Knights may spend 5 gold to buy 1 glory. I only have 2 gold. But if it comes to I have 7 and I have the gold, bam, I'm going to buy that last one to win. Pass the lead clockwise. Won't matter for solo. It's just me. Discard all the cards in causes. It was only this one. And move to the next round with a new spring phase. I explained it pretty sort of heavily and in detail, but that is how you play. Let's go ahead and play some, and you guys can see the game in action, and I'll pick up the pace here. New round, spring phase. Reveal the quest. Giants of Stone, Constitution, passive. Each knight gets -1 to all stats for each possession card they have in play. Zones. How do we get past that? So I have 1 possession card, so technically I have a -1. Just to look at it like this, always see right now. What do I have for Constitution? I have a 2, no other bonuses. But again, a 2 -1. Oh, excuse me, for the quest. So basically I have a 1. Now, difficulty is 5, so hopefully I get a lot from my cards, my marshalling cards. But I do gain or lose 2 glory for this quest. All right, now I gain gold equal to my gold bonus. And the gold bonus, the first turn, it's just where your knight is, right, the 3. But again, if you have possessions, they can add some. Remember, there's great tracts of land. So anyway, I just get 3, though. So I'll go ahead and put a 3 over there. So I have a total of 5 gold right now. And we draw up to a 3-card hand. So I have 1, so I'm not, before I think I misspoke, I said if I had, 3 cards, I draw 3 more. That's not true. You only draw up to 3. There's abilities or events that happen that let you draw more. So right now, I will just draw 2 more. Gift for Gab, which is a possession, costs 3 gold, just have 2 constitution. Choose another knight. They lose 1 gold, you gain 1 gold. Just wait till you hear this. Oh, and that's something that, possession, that's interesting. Choose another, but for the action. Interesting. And 1 more martial card. A passion, adoration. If this is in your cause, you may use appeal as your quest stat. Ooh. Oh, my appeal is the same. That's not going to help. But I do have a 3 on here. What would that be? 3, 4, it's a 5. Oh, man. So, then I get +1 from that. So I'm equal to it. That may be what I have to do here. All right. So now I proceed, just looking at my cards, now I proceed to the marshalling phase. I take a marshalling phase. What I'm going to do is, so I'm looking at it right here, and that's, again, I have to beat this. Now, keep in mind something. I'm looking at this right now, Giants of Stone. If I fail this quest, it's 2 glory. I lose 2 glory. I only have 1. That'll put me in -1, means I lose the game. Now, I'll tell you, it didn't happen this game, but I'll tell you that it's really easy in this game to, when you're playing, to have your first quest, you fail it because you don't have any possessions yet, or you may only have one, whatever the case is. It's really good chance you could fail that first quest. If you do, your game's immediately over. So what I usually do as a house rule is you can fail your first quest, but you don't lose the game. That gives you just a little one extra turn, possibly. But I do let myself lose on the second turn. So if I lose here, I lose, and that's just the way she goes. All right. But what I'm going to do is I think I have it up plan here. I think what I can do is and I'm going to hang on to adoration because that's going to go into, I'm going to pledge that into my cause. And remember, they do get 2 cards face down. I think it says during the marshaling phase, technically. So, and those will count towards, if it's constitution, will count towards adding on to the difficulty. All right, I think I'm going to save adoration. I'm going to pledge that during the quest phase, because if this is in your cause, you may use appeal as your quest stat. Well, then I have Radiance of Guinevere I'm going to play for 3. So 2 minus 1 because of the quest become 1, plus 3 becomes 4, plus 1 for Sword in the Stone becomes 5, and that's equal to the difficulty. Now, I'm counting on neither of these being appeal, but that's all I have. If I go for the actual constitution, I'm going to lose. So that's what I have to do. All right. So I'm not going to use anything for this. I'm just going to hang out of these cards. I'm not going to use any of them. And we are going on to the quest phase. We're going to pledge our cards. So they already pledged there too. Again, I think, what does the rulebook say? Let me double check that. I played this game like a dozen times now, but I keep forgetting. Oh, it is during the quest phase. It's not during marshaling phase. Again, it doesn't matter, but the leader will act as each quest and pledge a number of cards from the top of the marshaling deck equal to that glory prize. So it is what I thought. It just technically you're supposed to do it in the quest phase. Whatever. Okay. So let's go ahead and figure this out. So again, I'm going to put adoration in my pledge, face down normal, face up in cooperative or solo, along with Radiance of Guinevere. Not acting for the event, not acting for anything else other than adoration. You use the ability, the passion. The passion, it's not adoration, that's the name of the card. You use the passion, or it is a passion card. Radiance of Guinevere is just going to be what the pips are in the corner here. All right, now we resolve. So we reveal all the cards and the causes, and then we resolve any passions. This is in your cause. You use appeal as your quest stat. Again, 2 minus 1 because of the quest becomes 1, plus 1 becomes 2, plus 3 becomes 5. So we are equal to the quest difficulty. If I'm going to reveal both of these cards, if neither of them have appeal, which is that heart with a crown on top, we are going to beat the quest. We're going to defeat the quest. If any of these cards have any of those appeal icons, we lose. First one, Constitution, we're good. And last one, Constitution, we're also good. Whew. All right. We win, so we get the prize. So we get 2 glory. Beautiful. Look at that. So now we are at 3. Now we're cooking. Now we're looking real nice here. Beautiful. Now we discard the quest. Technically leave the pledge cards. The cards have been pledged to the causes. We go to the winner phase. Check glory. We have 3 glory. 8 to win. Trigger winner phase effects. There's no winner phase effects. Spend 5 gold to buy a glory if you want. We have 5, but I'm going to keep that money. Let me check, actually. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll hang on to it for now. Pass the lead clockwise. Discard all cards in the causes. All right. That's it for this round. On to the next round. Next round, reveal the quest. Vivian's Favor. Appeal. When revealed, all knights must put 1 gold on this quest. Knights who fail the quest gain that much gold. Well, what I do is I put 1, and then what I like to do is I put 1 for for sort of the system, right? Just otherwise it doesn't make sense. It's just me putting 1 out and then I get it back. That's all right, but let's make it a little better, right? Let's up the ante a little bit here. All right, I draw up to I get my gold bonus, so I get +3, so that gives me a total of 7 gold. Ooh. And I draw up to a 3-card hand. A Gift from the Wild, it's an event card. It has 1 appeal, which I really, really want. And search the discard pile for a possession card and put it into play, ignoring all costs. So if I wanted to, for the action. And finally, Another event card, Tithe, worth 2 Constitution pips, or action, spiritual or worldly. Spiritual, pay 1 gold to swap the quest with the bottom card of the quest deck, which I like this quest, I'm not going to do that. Or worldly, pay 1 gold to look at the top 3 cards of the quest deck and rearrange them. That I like. That I like a lot. All right, so those are my cards. Now we go to the marshalling phase, and now it's where I can take advantage of them. So I think I'm going to keep Gift for the Gab, just because I want potential of the Constitution. A Gift from the Wild, I'm going to keep for the appeal, because what do I have? 2, 3, that'll give me 4. And you see the card actually has only a difficulty of 3, so it's not that difficult, but they do get 2 cards to help them out. Tithe, one gold to look at the top 3 cards of the quest deck and rearrange them. I kind of want to use this though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Tithe as an event, or as event action card, and I choose worldly. I'm going to pay a gold. I'll look at the top 3 cards of the quest deck, right? Yep. And rearrange them. So what I have is 4 strength, so I do want strength as my, and none of them are strength. Each time I choose their highest stat. Okay, so this one is strength. It does 3, 4. It takes 7. Oh my gosh. Appeal 3. This takes 0. So appeal. Oh no. These are kind of tough. Jeez. Cards in her hand. Kind of like this one. Most appeal equal to the number of cards in her hand. Oh, I think this one will work for us too. So let's do it like this. All right, I think that'll be the best way to do it. You guys will see how we resolve it as we play through here. Okay, and that was, I played this. Yep, so he's done. And I think that's it, because I'm going to save this I'm saving this card, although I just looked at what I have, but I do want to have it in my hand. And yeah, I'm good. All right. What should I have as a possession for more money? Nah, we're good. All right, so let's do this. Let's move on. Yep, move on to the quest phase. So we'll pledge into the cause, which I'm definitely going to pledge Gift from the Wild to gain that 1 appeal. And the system gets 2 cards here. And now we'll go ahead and reveal them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 possession against 3. So as long as they only get +1, so 1 more, I'm going to beat the quest. If they get 2 more, I lose. That's a strength, so no. And Constitution, no. Oh, lucky. All right, we are good. So we beat the quest. So we get, obviously, both the gold. Thank you. I'll take my money back. And by beating the quest, we get 2 glory, which puts us at 5. Oh my gosh. I like that. Discard the quest. Proceed to the winter phase. There's no winter resolution, anything like that. And we're at 5. 5. That's a little different color. A little lighter color on that one. We're at 5, so we do not win yet. We will discard the cause cards. And that's it for the round. On to the next round. Spring phase. Real quest. Oh, surprise! Olwen's Hand. Appeal. Passive. Each knight gains a bonus to appeal equal to the number of cards in her hand. Ooh, I have 1 card right now, and I'm about to get a couple more. So, assuming I have, say, 3, they'll give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 4. Not too bad. All right. And I gain my 3 gold. And now I'm up to 9, 10, 11 gold. Yeah, I'm going to start buying glory here. I probably should have bought one last round, but that's all right. Proceed to the marshalling phase. So, oh, never mind. I get my 2 additional cards as well. My bad. A lady's favor. You will achieve great and wondrous things on my behalf. So, favor from my lady would be a possession that would give me additional appeal, which actually is pretty nice. Let me get the other card, but I may actually put that one out then. And then finally, Sheriff's Badge. Pay X gold to discard your hand and draw X cards. Come along with me, sir. Oh. Or I can use it as possession, but I want... I know what I'm doing here. Let's do this. That is awesome. All right, so we go to the marshalling phase now. That was the spring phase. We go to the marshalling phase. We'll play Sheriff's Badge as a action. Take an action on a card. It's going to leave no one's round. Pay X gold to discard your hand. I have to discard a whole hand, though? Wait a second. Let me do this. Let me pay 1 gold to put a lady's favor into my possessions, which gives me an additional +1 appeal. And then hang on to both of these. Let's go ahead and play Sheriff's Badge, pay X, and discard my hand to draw X card, X gold, excuse me. So, break this down into ones, by the way. So I want to hang on to, what is it, 5 gold for a glory? 5, 6, 7, 8, because I can win now. I should be able to win the game now. So, we'll spend 3, 4, 5. Spend 5 gold, discard both of these, and we'll draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we're definitely gonna win now, which is fantastic. Let's get 2 gold, 4 possession cards to draw gold, 4 square in play, no. Possession adds strength, no. Or discard a card to draw 3, gain 3 gold, pay 1 gold to draw 3 cards. Deceitful. Keep doing that to get more cards. See what happens here. Still can have a max of 5. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and I think we'll end our marshaling phase. We'll go to the quest phase, pledge any number of cards to their cause. So because I get each knight gains a bonus to appeal equal to the number of cards in their hand. Let's see. That's one worth 1. He's actually worth 2, so I'll pledge him. And then they get 2. And now we'll go ahead and resolve any passions. We'll resolve the cards, and we'll resolve the quest here. So what is my quest stat? Well, my quest stat is for appeal is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 versus 4. Plus they have 2 cards to reveal. 4 plus 0, and 4 plus 0. Nothing. So I pass that quest, and I get 2 glory. Puts me at 7. I discard the quest. All right, we go to the winner phase. Check glory to see if any player wins. We have 7 glory. Trigger winner phase effects. Knights may spend 5 gold to buy 1 glory. Well, that does come after the check. So 3, 4, 5. So say I spend 5 and I buy a glory. I'm now at 8. Let me double check the rule book because I'm at 8, but that did come after. Let me check. All right, so the rules do state after. So technically, even though I have 8, I don't win yet. I got to wait till the next turn, which is a little ticky-tack, but I guess it happened. So let's go ahead and discard these, and we'll go to the next turn. Let's go ahead right into the phase for this next quest. So it'll be appeal. Knights who fail this quest pay 2 gold less when buying glory this turn. Game income equal to my gold, which is 3. I drop to a 3-card hand. Well, I have 4 cards. I have 1. I don't have any other. Interesting. Okay. And proceed to the marshaling phase. Let's go ahead and play Beseech the Beyond. I will be deceitful. I know. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell King Arthur. I'm going to pay 1 gold. 2 back. To draw 3 cards. All right. And I'm going to keep these because they have appeal. And same with these. Okay. And then I think that's it. So now I have discard down to 5. So 3, 4, 5. I'll discard the chainmail here. Quest phase. They get 1 card. I will pledge this one, and this one. Now we resolve it. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus the 3. They have 1 and no bonus. Pledges to another knight's cause. If this is your cause, your knight applies plus $2, minus $2 stats this turn. When revealed, hate. So even with the minus 2, again, we're at 2. So let's say that we don't have that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3. We absolutely trounce it. So bestow mercy. So we get 1 glory. Well, we were already at 8. Now we're at 9. And go ahead and discard. Go to the winner phase. Check glory to see who wins. We have 9 glory. We win. Also, I totally forgot that we're supposed to be drawing 2 quests per round. All right, Future Wayne cutting in here. So I played out till I got to 9, but I made a big mistake. And this is, again, another reason I wish this glory tracker was in a separate player aid, another card or something. I forgot about the 2 quests per round. So I had gotten to, right, you guys saw how many glory points I had. I had at least 5, and I still only started drawing 1 quest per round. So just... So I kind of cheated. If I kind of cheated, I mean, I did cheat. So it should have been 2. So what it would have been would be something along the lines of, say it's like this. We'll say it was this quest. It would be then another quest, right? And so you would have 2 separate quests. And I would actually have to, like that, and like this. And I'd have to beat both of them, right? So I'd have to say, oh, I'm going to do, hang on. Yep, right here. So I'm giving myself enough room here. So I'd have to do, say, okay, well, I know this one is mercy, or excuse me, is appeal of 3. I have 2, 3, 4. So I feel good there. This is my highest stat, which is actually strength. So 3, 4. I would put these 3 in there. And then we would resolve it, right? So say bestow mercy is 3 plus hate. Oh, this is in your cause. Your knight plus -2 to all stats is phase. Well, that's not good. In fact, that's terrible. So my appeal becomes 1, 2 versus 3. So I lose. So I lose 1. That's a bummer. And then this would be, what is it? Highest stat, which is still strength with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That also loses that no matter what. And they gain 2. They gain 2, so I lose 5. So I lose 2 more. Yikes. Well, you guys get the idea. It gets hard once you get the 2 quests. You have to play them both. You have to. The rules tell you have to fight them both. That gets pretty tough there. So I'm bummed that I forgot that as I was playing. I felt like I was on a roll, and I played through to the end and I won, or I thought I won. And I looked at it and went, I did not include the second quest. Once I got to 5, that's a bummer. All right, well, let's do a little mini review here and give you guys my thoughts, even though it's a little bit of a bummer that I missed that. All right. All right, so what don't I like about it? Well, I don't like that in the first turn, if you, as the rules is written, if you lose the quest, you lose the game because you'll have no glory, right? You'll have no glory, and then whatever the quest is, 2 or 1, usually most of them are 2 or 1, you lose that. Well, you have no, it takes you to negative, you lose. I don't like that, right? Like, you lose the first turn, come on, through no fault of your own, no planning at all. I don't like that. So I do like the house rule that, hey, play through the first turn, and you get kind of a freebie, win or lose, doesn't matter. Build up your possessions a little bit, build up your hand, and then go from there. And then whatever happens in the second happens. Second thing, and obviously this actually literally came into play in my game here, is the fact that this ding glory tracker is on the back of the rule book. So I had the rule book because I referenced it a couple times. I mean, I played the game a dozen times plus, but like you still reference the rule book, right? Especially as I'm have it on camera. I'm trying to get you guys play correctly, which I didn't do. Because on the glory tracker, it says the 2 quests per round. Well, I forgot about that. So, yeah, if I had the rules memorized, I could put that right here and say, I can put them on here or use that part, whatever it is. But I don't want to do that. I want to use the rule book. So this really should have been a separate player aid. That could probably fit on a card. They give you a bunch of these cheat sheet cards for multiplayer. I get that, but look at that. I could almost fit on there, maybe shrink it down, or just have an actual separate cardboard piece that is that glory tracker. I think that would be really nice. And then the third and final thing, obviously this is for solo mode, is the fact that so many of the cards will reference another knight, reference this or that. It's really, you can tell, designed for multiplayer, right, at its core. That's fine, but this game has a solo mode, on the box. So when you're playing it solo and you see those things, it's like, what? And I don't remember it telling you. That's why I came up with the idea that, hey, if it says, oh, take gold for another knight or do this or that, I just assume there's kind of a phantom knight. Maybe it mentions that in the rules. I don't recall. I mean, obviously I forgot about the glory tracker, the number of quests per round. So what do I know about the rules, right, guys? But I would like to see maybe if you're going to offer solo mode, maybe dial it in just a little bit more. Okay, what do I like? Well, I like the gameplay. I mean, it's very, very luck dependent, right? What cards you have. But I like that there's some luck mitigation in the sense of, okay, you can kind of pick. And a little bit of risk reward of, okay, do I take a possession, put it in my possession, usually get a +1, or do I use it for the pips, which are probably going to be more than that, right? So if I have to use it for strength, well, I get 2 strength. If I put it as a possession, I have to pay gold, and I only get +1 appeal. But then that's every turn. So every turn going forward, for instance, Sir Clarion here now, because I have Lady's Favor and Sword and Stone, I don't have just 2 appeal, I have 4 automatically before I play any cards. So with what I have 4. Say I play Pridwin, King's Shield in my cause. That's 2 more. I now have 6. That's pretty good. That can beat a lot of quests. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I like that aspect of it. I love the artwork. Obviously, I already mentioned the playmat. I'm not going to remove everything. You guys already saw it at the beginning. But I love the artwork on the cards. You kind of have real sort of colored, nice-looking colored art on the different knights. And, you do have male and female, so you get a little bit of that if you're interested in that. But also the sort of old school, and again, their colored art is all over, and it looks really good. Lady's Favor, that's really just excellent artwork on there. Then you have sort of little funnier, sort of the squires all have that old school line art style look of old medieval art that I'm sorry, I get a kick out of. Some of it looks good, but it's good and often in a funny way. Let's just say that. My Vengeful Squire, look how vengeful does that guy look? But I like that. I like the artwork. I think it works really well with the game. And the cards are super, super easy to read. A name tells you a trigger or passive. Basically, is it triggered? Is it passive? Is it when revealed? Action card, whatever. And then it has some text. It maybe has some flavor text. And then it'll have a nice big icon. Is it appeal? Is it strength? Is it constitution? You're going to see those big icons, and you're going to be able to add them up super quick and easy. Game itself is super quick and easy, but I shouldn't say easy. Sorry, it's quick and easy to play. It's not an easy game. In fact, I found it relatively difficult. You can get in a rut sometimes where you get 5 or 6 glory, and then you'll lose a quest, and so you drop back down to like 3, and then you win again to get up to 5 or 6, and then you drop down again. Especially once you add the second quest in. Probably half the reason I forgot is because, I was thinking I was on such a roll. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to win this. I didn't even think about the quest, having a draw a second quest part. But that obviously escalates the difficulty. So at that point, you better have some possessions. You better have a hand of cards, maybe. You better have yourself lined up as much as you can. So a lot of it comes down to the card draw, but you can do a little bit of here and there to tweak things to say, all right, I'm going to sacrifice this now to gain this later, to beef up this stat, so that way down the line, my base stats are higher if possible, right? Because again, Sir Clarion, outside of all the rest of this, his base strength is 4 and his base appeal is 4, thanks to his squire and his possessions. Now, it's not enough to beat every quest, but it's enough to give a good jump start on 2 of those quests. Now, you get a constitution-based quest, well, you better hope you have some good cards in your hand. So, I'm trying to think anything else that really speaks out to me of what I do like about the game. Yeah, I do like the gameplay. I do wish it had just felt a little bit more designed for solo, as opposed to solo mode feels a little tacked on, a little ticky-tacky with some of the things. But again, maybe that's, here's the deal. If cards say other nights, it's designed as sort of this multiplayer game. And you say, all right, now play it solo. Well, yeah, the wording is going to say other nights and things like that. Each night, other nights, etc. Choose another knight. Well, I'm the only knight. Well, then you just have to figure, okay, I'm going to pick, the Phantom Invisible Knight that I'm playing against for the game. All right, let me give you guys my final thoughts on it. Questionable rules mistakes aside, I really like this game, and I do recommend it if you can get it for a decent price. I don't really talk about total costs on this channel. Neither I do on my wargaming channel, because everyone picks up games at different times, different places, different ways. It doesn't really make sense, but to talk about cost, because everyone's different. Everyone lives in different countries. But I'll say if you can get it for a reasonable price, I'd say worth it. If you are okay with a quick playing sort of card game, and I can see where it would really shine multiplayer. Absolutely. I do think there's this game here solo that's worth it. Again, would I pay for a full box game cost for this game, even with this beautiful mat? I don't know about that. But if I could pick it up for a good price, get it in a trade, I definitely think it could be worth it for you if you liked what you saw, right? Here's the deal. I like that you're picking a different knight, and there's a whole bunch of choices here. Right? Look at all these different knights, whole bunch of different squires, and again, you can kind of change them during the game. Look, give you different stats or potentially gold. You have them. you are revealing quests, and you're taking your cards, you're drawing extra cards, and well, it's only up to 3, but you get the idea. I cheated a little bit. You get to add, I don't want to use it as a possession, don't want to use it for the strength, or for the strength. No, you know what, actually, I want that as a possession, pay some gold for this. All right, I got that. Or no, wait a second, actually, I think I'm going to use it for the strength, because that's what I need it. Maybe it's a different quest that has strength up there. It's sent by the lady. You get the idea. I like that sort of, you're evaluating constantly. Okay, what are my stats? What is this? What is that? I'm not a math guy, but that is fun because of the thematic part of the cards, right? Of the artwork on the cards. I mean, look at these cards out right now. These all look awesome. I think they look awesome. Love this artwork. Again, combination of sort of classic, actual medieval art look with maybe a modern classic look, with a traditional modern look, high fantasy look. You can see right here, I really enjoy that. So overall, Pendragon, Glory of the Round Table. I do. Let's move this a little bit. I want to see that artwork. Look at that. Sword in the Stone here, baby. I do recommend this game. I like this game. Not perfect. It's not a 10 out of 10 style game. I don't do 10 ratings, but I'm not a 10 out of 10 game, obviously. But there's some fun to be had here. I think they did a good job. I did hear, I believe there's going to be some expansions, maybe some additional quests, probably some more marshalling cards. I assume maybe more of everything, right? You could just have a pack that includes a couple extra knights, a couple extra squires, a bunch of extra quests, a couple extra marshalling cards, and say, all right, there you go. That way you have, just that much more variety in your gameplay. And they probably give you some more tokens too. You don't have a problem with solo, plenty of tokens, but I could see, especially in multiplayer, maybe not having enough gold tokens, because look at this. This is it. These here are it for gold. That's it. So if you're playing up to 4 players, you're going to go through those pretty quick. Anyway, recommend this one for at least for a look-see. If you like what you saw, definitely recommend checking out Glory of the Round Table card game. If you made it this far, always appreciate a subscription. You don't have to watch all my videos, just watch the ones that interest you. Otherwise, thumbs up if you liked it, and then comment below. Let me know what you think. You play this game, you interested in it, what other games you recommend that are similar. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Otherwise, until next time, everybody, later.